Welcome to the channel, everyone. Gamer Saber here. On this channel, we talk about life and ways to improve your finances, especially during a time in an economy that's becoming increasingly more difficult with rising costs. Today's topic is very important. We're going to be going through a step-by-step on how to fix your life in your 20s. If you're not in your 20s, it's fine. I'm sure you can still find this video helpful. I just really wanted to focus on the decade of your 20s because it is the most important decade for compound growth. That is why it's very important to get your money invested and pay attention to your habits and the decisions you make in this decade, because they can set you up or destroy the rest of your life. If you're feeling behind or you're struggling, that's okay. This video is for you. I'm 29. I work a full-time job in a grocery store. Still hanging on in my 20s, and I found this video very motivating for me because if I had followed these steps sooner, it would have helped me tremendously, and it would have gotten me a lot farther than where I am today financially. For step 1 on how to fix your life in your 20s, I have identify the issues holding you back. You may already know what's holding you back. If that's the case, great. I have a list of things I'm going to go through, and I want you to ask yourself questions and kind of dig and find which of these things, if not multiple, may be holding you back. If you find there's more than one, it's best to focus on the one that is negatively holding you back the most. First up, I have working out. How often are you working out? I have diet. Are you cooking at home? Are you eating well? Next up is sleep. Are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours consistently? Are you waking up at the same time? Do you feel rested? I have relationships. Do you have healthy and strong relationships with your spouse, your family, your friends? Ask yourself if you have issues with substance abuse. Are you drinking alcohol too often? Are you using weed too often or other drugs? I was hesitant to put this one on the list. I have income. I believe too many people have the belief that they don't make enough money. If you make a budget and you write out all your expenses and you compare that to your income and you see that as a problem, then it's definitely something to be addressed. Next up is your job. Are you happy and passionate at your job? Does it provide you fulfillment? I have spending, kind of similar to income. If you make a budget and you find that you're overspending, it may be an issue that you want to focus your time on. And last up, I put this on here because I've had a problem with this in the past, is gaming. I went through this period of my life where I gamed way too much in high school, and although I wasn't quite into my 20s yet, I do believe that had a huge negative impact into my 20s. Thankfully, when I went to college, I got much more focused and leaned out of this. I found my passion for long distance running, but anytime I found myself injured in the past decade, when I'm unable to run and train, I use weed to kind of cope, and it kind of turns me lazy and gets me out of a lot of the healthy routines I've built up over the years. Kind of opening up about my issues that I've experienced in the past and how I've addressed them to improve my life and my financial situation, in hopes that you can do the same. We've gone over some topics and issues that could be potentially holding you back. Hopefully you've identified at least one. Now we're going to be moving on to step 2, which is to set measurable ways to address the issues. Finding ways to measure your progress in addressing issues is absolutely critical because it ensures that you stay on track, and it also keeps you motivated to see the progress you're making towards addressing the issues. And I find that it creates a snowball that can lead to making progress in other areas of your life. For a lot of these topics, I find it pretty easy to track how much or how often you're doing these things, which makes it easier to measure your progress. Ways that I do this for a few of these topics is for sleep. I have an app on my phone that connects to my watch that can let me know how well I'm sleeping and how much sleep I'm getting. I also try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. Then for income and spending, I have all these numbers factored into my budget, so it makes it very easy for me to track and see how I'm doing. Of all the topics I've talked about in step 1, I think relationships are probably the hardest thing to track. If you find that you're struggling in a particular relationship, I find it best for me to set aside a certain day of the week or a certain time of day to spend time with someone. After setting measurable ways to address the issues that are holding you back and track your progress on addressing those issues, we move on to step 3, which is to find your purpose. I considered putting this at step 1, but I think it's best to start small and to make progress on the issues that are holding you back. This will help motivate you and help you build momentum towards something bigger and more meaningful. A purpose has to be something that you really want. This could be building a family, getting a new job, building or buying your own house, or starting your own business. For me, I definitely want to start my own family at some point down the road, and I also am very passionate about Coastfire, or reaching a point before I'm 60 where I can retire or step down from my job if I want. Lastly, I'm very passionate about running. I want to see how fast and how far I can run before I'm too old and can't do it anymore. Hopefully you've found a purpose or a goal that is very meaningful to you. That takes us to step 4, which is reverse engineer path to goals. This is definitely one of my favorite things to do. I'm a very visual person. I like being able to see the path to achieve my goals, and that's what reverse engineering your path to goals allows you to do. It also gives you a timeline and provides you guidance on when you can achieve goals, and allows you to see the progress you're making towards those goals, and it'll let you know if you're on or off track. For example, let's say you wanted to buy a house and you needed a down payment of $20,000. You could save $200 a week, and that would help you reach your goal within 2 years. If you track your savings each week and find that you were able to save more, or you weren't able to quite save that much, it would let you know a timeline on when you would reach that goal, whether it would be sooner or later than 2 years. For me, I really like to use this step in my running. I typically, when I find a race, whether it be a half marathon or a marathon that's 4 or 5 months away, once I know what race I want to do, I typically build my training plan backward and will plug in the big runs and the workouts I want to do closest to the race and kind of work myself to where I am today. And it kind of helps me create a plan and a timeline on how to get to the race fit, healthy, ready to go. I hope you found these steps helpful. Your 20s can be the most important and difficult decade of your life. The time to act is now. If you don't act now, then when? What's the alternative? To stay the same and not get better? No one's coming to save you. If you wait, it's only going to get harder to create change and to grow personally and financially. It's very important to have meaningful goals that are going to drive you towards making the life that you want. It may be harder now than ever before in the past, but it's definitely still possible. If you wanted to follow along with a detailed weekly update on my budget, there will be a link in the description below, and I'll also be posting a weekly short going over everything in that. I want to shout out Hot Joe for his gameplay. The link to his channel is also in the description. We're going to be moving to bi-weekly uploads to focus on the quality of the videos. If you found anything in today's video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or recommendations, leave them in the comments below, and I will catch you next week. And remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you save.
We've secured the field. Mission accomplished.